What's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Hope you all have had a great Tuesday so far. We're going to talk about the potential. We're going to use that D word, Derecho, for portions of the Ohio Valley and Midwest tomorrow, especially for tomorrow evening, as it looks like a multi-supercellular event, more of a tornado threat. Goes to a big-time wind threat, a damaging wind threat that could affect areas like Chicago and any area in between. So this could affect some of the big cities. So we need to definitely talk about this. I know I don't talk about this area of the country a whole lot. I mainly stick to the extreme East Coast, but we need to talk about this because this could sneak up on people. I'm not going to compare it to the one that happened in August last year that caused a ton of damage in Iowa and places like that. But this could sneak up on some people. So let's break it down. Let's talk about it and see what we got going for you folks up there in the Midwest and Ohio Valley. So if you guys have not subscribed, definitely hit the subscribe button. And like the video if you like it. And thank you all for the continued support. I appreciate y'all very much. So here we go. So this is for tomorrow, an enhanced risk. And this is pretty common for this time of the year. I'm not saying an enhanced risk is common, but severe weather is not unheard of this time of the year. The jet stream on average shifts north, so severe weather chances mainly are confined to the most northern areas of the lower 48, including and areas of Canada. So we have an enhanced risk that's almost including Minneapolis, but is stretching all the way to just north of Chicago, near Milwaukee, and places like that. But you have a slight risk that does include Minneapolis and Chicago all the way to Fort Wayne and then portions of northwest Ohio. Then you have a pretty large area of a marginal risk that stretches all the way from the Canada, Minnesota border, stretching all the way to Baltimore and Washington. It's all because of this, what we call the ring of fires. Basically, when you got high pressure sitting up here and you have a flow going around high pressure like this. So that allows for some big time, sometime what we call mesoscale convective systems, basically lines of sometimes destructive storms to develop, and lines of storms and move from the northwest to the southeast. Tornado threat there is a high tornado threat, a 5% chance. I know when I say high and you think 5% chance, you're thinking that's not very high. Well, that's pretty significant. That's a 5% chance of a tornado at 25 miles at any given location in that area of Brown. So it's definitely something we need to pay attention to for sure. It's Minneapolis needs to watch out for an early afternoon tornado threat, as it looks like there's going to be a tornado threat earlier on tomorrow. We look at the wind threat, and it's pretty extreme, a 30% chance, and then there's a hatched area right here that really could upgrade here that almost includes Minneapolis, and just a huge area of Wisconsin and an area of Minnesota, and 15% chance with Chicago included with this. So there is a hail threat earlier on with a multicellular structure storms that are mainly confined to Minnesota and Wisconsin. But hail cannot be not ruled out anywhere else. So what's going on here is you got high pressure. High pressure's right here, and you got the ring of fire. And what we call here is basically you have systems that's rotating around this, especially at the northeast base of this, and they move from the northwest to the southeast. And sometimes you can get some big time systems that round the boundaries of this high pressure. And there's a big time high pressure right over here. So you got to watch out. The jet stream sets up here, and then you have systems that can create basically a low-level jet in some cases, and just promote severe weather and thermodynamics for severe weather. So let's talk about what we can see. So I'm going to look at the NAM, and then I'm going to look at the HRRR model also. So you check it out here. We're moving through here in time. Notice what time frame we're at. We're at the long-range NAM, so it moves in hour intervals. So as we're going through in time, we're getting into tomorrow afternoon. Check out this piece of energy moving out of Canada into northern portions of Wisconsin. It kind of fizzles out early on, and then as we get into about early to mid-afternoon, this pops off right here around this low pressure here and gets going just north of probably just north of Minneapolis. This is where you could get the multicellular structure really going here. This is going to be probably a 1 to 3 hour period if there's going to be a tornado threat before this really consolidates into a line of damaging wind line of storms here. And check out how quick it kind of gathers around into more of a bowed out section kind of a bowed out line of storms. This is what we can call a derecho in some cases. I'm not going to compare it to the one that went through Iowa, but sometimes these can sneak up and sometimes these can become nowcasting situations. The thing that's unfortunate here is I think it's going to be late evening when this thing is rolling through. And look, these are hour intervals. Look how fast this thing's moving, and that's normally how it is. Especially if it's during the day. Normally these things, unfortunately, it's the all before the everything goes haywire. But a lot of times these can produce insane wall clouds, shelf clouds, and you really can see these things coming. Even if it's nighttime, you'll see a lot of lightning. But check it out here. This rolls through what looks to be Chicago during the early morning hours, maybe around, I don't know, midnight to the early morning hours. But I can tell you, sometimes these systems move a little bit faster than what models depict, especially when you have fast moving systems. But this thing is cruising through the entire state almost of Wisconsin, hit Chicago sometime overnight, and gets going. It's going to dwindle apart, but check it out, it moving through, and it's going to be, probably areas of eastern Iowa too, but it's going to go on and move through areas of northern Illinois and then northern Indiana, and then into Ohio before weakening in the morning hours. And then Thursday potentially could bring its own severe weather threat. So this is definitely going to be something. And check out the humidity, the dew point boundaries here. As we're getting into tomorrow afternoon, check out how high these dew points are. There is going to be some hot temperatures here too. Now I'm about to show you the temperatures, but the NAM is definitely overdoing the temperatures. The NAM has like Minneapolis reaching, I don't know, 105 degrees before the weather kicks in tomorrow. I don't see that happening, but I do see it getting into the upper 90s. But these are some high dew points ahead of the energy that gets going. And then your energy does get going here. It's moving through. Dew points crash a little bit, and then some cooler air tries to work in as you have a cold front that works in behind this. The jet stream drops a little bit. But you can tell the temperature boundary. There's a stout, warm advection boundary right here, where you have the cooler, more stable air and the basically explosive, convective hot air that's really just setting the stage here. And then temperatures warm ahead of these storms, and they're in the 80s, and then they move through and temperatures crash. You can actually look at the temperatures right here and see how they crash behind it. But I'm telling you, this is going to potentially be a damaging wind threat for a lot of people, stretching from Minneapolis all the way to Chicago, and basically anywhere in between could potentially see a nasty line of storms. Take a look at thermodynamics here in the CAPE building here. CAPE value is going to be upwards to 2,000 to 3,500 joules per kilogram ahead of the system as you're getting into tomorrow. Look how it builds ahead of the line and comes crashing down here. So there's going to be CAPE let's see if I can stop it right here when this is going to be moving through. So there's going to be convective energy. You look at the tornado threat, there is going to be a brief period Wednesday early afternoon where it's going to really spike, especially for right around this time frame. So you need to watch this, especially in the mid-afternoon hours, early to mid-afternoon hours. That is a pretty high torque, and sometimes this can be skewed. Sometimes this is overdoing it. A lot of times it is, but it's a good thing we can look at here. But that's significant, the STP in short, significant tornado parameter readings between 5 and 7. That's pretty high. And I think this will be more of a mid-afternoon tornado threat, and then more into the evening it'll turn more into the damaging wind threat. But I will show you that too. It doesn't do the greatest job showing it, but as we get into tomorrow, the shifts to, check it out here, check out this energy right here. I know it's probably pretty hard to see on the screen, but that's 40 to 50 mile per hour winds and that line of storms that gets going here, and it shows up again right there. Look at this line of storms moving over the Great Lakes here. So we need to watch where the worst of this moves through. It's going to be kind of hard to figure out, but check it out how the line of storms moves through right here. And you see these areas of red. That's 50 to 60 mile per hour winds, potentially moving through areas like Chicago. So I know I didn't get super detailed with this, guys, but point blank, if you live anywhere from Minneapolis, Minnesota, all the way to Chicago, Illinois, and anywhere in between that and widen that range out. So basically anywhere in this range right here. You need to watch out for tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow night, into the overnight hours for a big time weather event, especially the areas that are in enhanced risk by the Storm Prediction Center. So that's all I got, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in, and be safe out there. I know I don't talk about you guys a lot in Ohio Valley and Midwest, but definitely be safe out there. Some nasty weather here in these as we're trucking through summer. So thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all have a blessed night.